She sat nervously at the corner table of a little café, her fingers clutching the small wallet in her lap. Inside it were exactly $5, everything she had left after paying her rent, buying some second-hand clothes, and skipping dinners to make sure she could afford her books for college. Her friends had convinced her to try dating, even though she knew her situation wasn't ideal. They said she deserved love too, no matter how little she had, but in her heart she wasn't sure. The date was supposed to meet her at 7. By now it was nearly 1:15, and every tick of the clock made her chest feel tighter. She looked at the menu and scanned the cheapest items, just a small cup of tea or maybe a simple bread roll. Nothing more. If he ordered more, if he expected her to split the bill, she would be humiliated. But still she came, because deep inside she wanted to feel like a normal girl for once, not someone fighting her way through life. At the next table sat a man with a little boy about 8 years old. The boy had a toy car in his hand and kept laughing as he rolled it back and forth. The man, dressed neatly in a simple suit, looked tired but gentle, occasionally helping the boy with his homework sheet. They looked happy, even though it was clear this was no luxury restaurant, just an average cafe. Still, their presence brought a strange comfort to her. Finally, her date arrived. He was tall, well-groomed, and carried himself with confidence. At first, she smiled, relieved that he had come. But as soon as he sat down, things began to feel wrong. He ordered without even asking her what she wanted, choosing expensive dishes for himself. He talked endlessly about his achievements, his car, his gym routine, his vacations. When she softly mentioned she was studying, he brushed it off, saying education wasn't as important as making money fast. She stayed quiet, sipping only water, her hand tight around her $5. When the food arrived, he devoured it without offering her even a bite. She whispered that she wasn't hungry, but the truth was she couldn't afford to add anything to the bill. Inside, her chest ached, not from hunger but from the realization that she didn't belong here. The man with the little boy at the next table noticed. He had been watching quietly, his heart stirring as he saw the nervous way she folded her hands, the way she avoided looking at the menu, the way her eyes dimmed when her date spoke without kindness. His little son tugged his sleeve and whispered, "Daddy, she looks sad." The man gave his son a small nod. When the bill came, her worst fear happened. Her date leaned back, expecting her to contribute. "Come on," he said casually. "You can cover your part, right?" Her throat tightened. With trembling fingers, she pulled out her wallet, revealing the lone $5 bill. Her date scoffed. $5? You've got to be kidding me. Why would you even come out if you can't afford it? His words cut like knives. People at nearby tables glanced over and she wanted to sink into the ground. At that moment, the man with the little boy stood up. He walked over, placed his hand gently on the bill, and slid it back to her. "This won't be necessary," he said firmly, pulling out his own card to cover not only his bill but hers as well. The cafe fell silent for a second. The rude date muttered something under his breath and stormed out, leaving her sitting there with tears welling in her eyes. She looked up at the stranger, her lips trembling. "You didn't have to," he smiled softly. "Sometimes it's not about what we have. It's about what we deserve. And you didn't deserve that." His son peeked out from behind him and gave her a shy smile, holding up his toy car as if to cheer her. For the first time that night she laughed, just a little, but it felt real. He invited her to join their table. At first she hesitated, afraid of being a burden. But then his son insisted, pulling a chair for her. She sat with them, and for the next hour she forgot about her worries. They talked about simple things, the boy's favorite cartoons, the books she loved, the man's journey as a single dad trying to balance work and parenting. She didn't know that he was actually a CEO of a successful company. He never boasted about it, never tried to impress her with wealth. To her, he was simply a kind father with gentle eyes and a heart big enough to notice her pain. As the evening ended, he walked her out. "Don't let anyone make you feel small because of money," he told her. "The right person will see your worth without needing proof." She nodded, holding back tears of gratitude. From that day on, their paths kept crossing. At first it was coffee, then helping his son with school projects, then walks in the park. What began as a humiliating blind date turned into the night she met someone who would change her life. Not because he was a CEO, not because he had wealth, but because he treated her with respect when she had nothing. And years later, when she walked down the aisle, She carried not only flowers but also the memory of that $5 bill, the one she never had to spend, because someone had shown her that her value was never measured by money, but by heart.